For this problem, we're asked to find the exact value of the tangent of 17 pi over 12. So let's start by rewriting this angle measure in degrees instead of radians. That's going to make it easier to work with a little bit. So 17 pi over 12 radians times 180 divided by pi, that's going to give us our angle measure in degrees. These pi's will divide to 1, and 12 goes into 180 15 times. 17 times 15 is 255. So 17 pi over 12 radians is equal to 255 degrees. So let's rewrite this as the tangent of 255 degrees. Now we're asked to find the exact value, so we're going to go to our unit circle. But 255 degrees isn't on our unit circle. So we need to find two angles that are on the unit circle that add up to 255 degrees. Then we can use our sum identity for tangent. So two angles that add to 255, let's use 45 degrees and 210 degrees. So let's rewrite this as the tangent of 45 degrees plus 210 degrees. And now we're going to use our sum identity for tangent, which is that the tangent of A plus B is equal to the tangent of A plus the tangent of B divided by 1 minus the tangent of A times the tangent of B. So that's our identity, and we're going to use that identity here with A equal to 45 degrees and B equal to 210 degrees. So this is equal to the tangent of 45 degrees plus the tangent of 210 degrees divided by 1 minus the tangent of 45 degrees times the tangent of 210 degrees. Now we can erase this identity. And now we've got something that is in terms of only angles that are on the unit circle. So the tangent of 45 degrees, that is right here, it's going to be 1. So the tangent is 1 plus the tangent of 210 degrees is square root of 3 over 3 divided by 1 minus the tangent of 45 times the tangent of 210. So 1 times the square root of 3 over 3 is the square root of 3 over 3. All right, now we don't want to leave our answer like this. This is kind of ugly. So let's simplify this. We don't want to have a complex fraction. We don't want to have a fraction in our numerator or our denominator. And we have one in both. So let's get rid of those fractions. Let's multiply this numerator by 3. That'll get rid of that fraction there. If we do that to the top, we also have to do that to the bottom. And that works out nicely because that'll get rid of that fraction down there as well. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by square root of 3 over 3. And if we do that, we get 3 times 1 is 3, plus 3 times the square root of 3 over 3 is going to be the square root of 3. And then on the bottom, we get 3 times 1 is 3, minus the square root of 3. All right. We're getting closer, but we still don't want to leave our answer like this because we've got a square root in the denominator. We want to rationalize our denominator. So let me give myself some room here and put this up here. 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3 minus the square root of 3. All right, to rationalize a denominator when you've got a binomial like this, you've got two different terms. You're going to multiply by the conjugate. So this same thing, only with a different sign. So instead of 3 minus square root of 3, we've got to multiply that denominator by 3 plus the square root of 3. And of course, if we multiply the denominator by something, we also have to multiply the numerator by that same thing. And the reason we're allowed to do this is because if we multiply both top and bottom by the same thing, we're really just multiplying by 1. Because 3 plus the square root of 3 over 3 plus the square root of 3 is just 1. All right, let's go ahead and do that. We'll FOIL this out. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times the square root of 3 is 3 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times 3 is 3 square root of 3 again. And square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. And in the denominator, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times the square root of 3 is 3 square root of 3. Negative square root of 3 times 3 is negative 3 square root of 3. And negative square root of 3 times square root of 3 is negative 3. And now notice that the reason that we multiply by this binomial is this conjugate is that this is always going to happen, that these middle terms, the two terms that contain a square root, will add to 0. And so now those are gone, and so we get up on the top 9 plus 3 is 12 plus 6 square root of 3. And then on the bottom we've got 9 minus 3 is 6. And if we simplify this, we get 12 divided by 6 is 2 plus 6 square root of 3 divided by 6 is square root of 3. And so that is going to be our answer.